Phillips had always been a force to be reckoned with, but when he appeared out of thin air completely armed with infinite weapon power, he became an unstoppable force of nature. As he stood before the undead horde from World War Z, his eyes gleamed with a fierce determination. The undead horde came rushing towards him, their decaying bodies moving with unnatural speed and agility. But Trevor was ready for them. With a skillful dodge here and a well-aimed shot there, he began to pick off the undead one by one. His weapons of choice were varied and deadly. He wielded RPGs with precision, sending explosions rippling through the horde. Miniguns roared in his hands, mowing down the undead with ease. Assault rifles spat out bullets in a deadly dance, while grenades and grenade launchers added to chaos. Trevor moved with a grace and style that was almost mesmerizing. Each shot was calculated, each dodge perfectly timed. He moved through the horde like a whirlwind of destruction, leaving a trail of undead bodies in his wake. As the last of the undead fell to his weapons, Trevor stood victorious. His chest heaved with exertion, but his eyes still burned with fierce intensity. He had single-handedly cleared the entire horde in a display of skill and style that seemed straight out of a Hollywood movie. And as he stood there, bathed in the glow of his victory, Trevor Phillips knew that he was truly a force to be reckoned with. The undead may have been formidable, but they were no match for the sheer power and skill of Trevor Phillips. CJ had never experienced anything like this before. One moment, he was walking down the street in Los Santos, and the next, he found himself surrounded by a horde of undead creatures straight out of a nightmare. But CJ was not one to back down from a challenge. Armed with all weapons and infinite ammo, CJ wasted no time in unleashing a barrage of bullets on the approaching undead menace. With each shot fired, he moved with a grace and skill that seemed almost supernatural. The undead creatures fell before him, their bodies crumbling to the ground in a grotesque display of violence. As the horde closed in on him, CJ moved with a fluidity that seemed almost choreographed. He dodged and weaved between creatures, his movements almost too fast for the eye to follow. In a display of Hollywood-worthy slow motion, CJ spun and fired his weapons with precision, taking down the undead menace with ease. The sound of gunfire echoed through the streets as CJ continued his relentless assault. The undead creatures seemed to have no chance against him, their numbers dwindling with each passing moment. CJ's determination was unwavering, his focus unbreakable as he fought to rid the world of this undead threat. And then, just like that, it was over. The last of the undead creatures fell to the ground, their bodies lifeless and still. CJ stood amidst the carnage, his weapon smoking in his hands. He had single-handedly cleared the horde of undead menace from World War Z, and nothing stood in his way. As he looked around at the destruction he had wrought, CJ couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. He had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. With a smirk on his face, he turned and walked away, ready to face whatever challenges the world threw at him next. After all, he was CJ, and nothing could stand in his way.